Wilhelm just stuffed him.
Well, the ball is actually a little short of the 1 yard line now. It is fourth down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Andre Johnson, Roscoe Parrish, and Kellen Winslow, and Dorsey under pressure throws it incomplete. The Buckeyes win. C. Grant was the man who pressured Dorsey, and now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They are 14-0.
Buckeye Nation, welcome to episode 3 of the Silver Bullets podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Sommers, a contributor at theozone.net and producer of Acosta Field with Tony Gerdeman. I'm joined by my co-host, Chip Minnich, who is also a contributor at theozone.net and Athlon Sports. Chip, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Shannon. How are you?
Great, thanks. As listeners of our show that used to be called Men in Scarlet and Gray know, we have had some great discussions with Bill King, Stanley Jackson, Mecca Don. So with our new name being the Silver Bullets podcast, what great way to help enshrine the new name by having a real Silver Bullets on with us to discuss Ohio State football. Want to thank C. Grant, I said I wasn't going to say former because once a Buckeye, but Buckeye linebacker, cornerback, national champion, C. Grant, for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. Thank you to both of you.
We're just very excited to have you here with us. I know when I reached out to you, one of the biggest things I wanted to discuss with you, training camp has started for Ohio State. As we're speaking now, the players are moving into their hotel rooms. I don't know what you guys did for your tradition, if you guys did a hotel room in order to get closer. And you had two different coaches, fortunately. But when you look at your years of playing for Ohio State and the 2002 season, when you start setting your goals, when do you realize that the goals that you're setting are actually accomplishable and they're like right in front of you?
I feel like every team is different. And when I speak, I can only speak for myself. But, personally, I think at the end of the Outback Bowl, prior to the 2002 season, I think we had a gut check point throughout that game. We really didn't show up in the first half of that game, and South Carolina was really handing it to us. And I think we had a gut check at halftime. What type of team are we currently, and what type of team are we going to be moving forward? And we didn't care about what the score was. And in that second half, we showed some heart, we showed some pride, and we got back in that game. And unfortunately, we fell short. But I think that was the moment where it started. And I think anytime you're a junior and that year is completed, and whether you're going to move on to the NFL draft or come back for your senior year, I think when you're coming back, there's a certain excitement, and you can build off the year before. And I think, the Outback Bowl was definitely the moment. And then, you get in that mind frame going into your senior year that, you start looking back at your goals that you set in place, coming into the Ohio State. You look back and see, did we accomplish this? Can we accomplish that? And, one thing about the Ohio State, man, there's so many great athletes that come through year in and year out. There's an old saying I picked up through like some old heads throughout the year was like, we don't rebuild, we reload. And that's so true. So you always sort of want to make your mark, or, as my mom would say, make an impact. And the only way to truly make an impact at the Ohio State, as a team, is to win it all. And so you always know that the Blocko sells itself, and that please believe if you're a high school or student or a middle school student, and the Ohio State comes to your house or comes to your school and gives you an opportunity, no matter what your dreams or aspirations are, you're going to take the time to see what they're talking about. And then if you do decide to go ahead and take on that challenge, man, you know that there's going to be a certain expectation. And winning a national title is that. So if you get to your senior year and that hasn't been completed, and you look around and you know you got some studs around you, and you know that every year you're going to be put in a position to get it done, then, you know, that's all you're thinking about, getting it done. Go through there and make your mark. And that's the way to make a mark as a team, is winning it all. Because that's something that you can carry when you go back to the Ohio State. That's something you can carry to the NFL. That's something you can carry post NFL when you move into your, you know, next phase of life. Man, that doesn't leave you. So, yeah, man, you want to make sure that you accomplish every goal. And when you go 14-0, you accomplished it. You're a champion. You know, hell, you're going to have times in life when you're far away from football and you're going to question, because through life, you're going to have ups and downs, trials and tribulations, and you're going to question, am I a champion? Do I really have what it takes in this field to get it done? And once a champion, I feel always a champion. So you just got to reconfigure your plan and put it in place and move forward, man.
Now, that brings me to you signed with the 1998 class out of New Philadelphia, correct? As an athlete?
Correct.
So you came in with LaCharles Bentley and Belisari and Donnie Nicky, I think, right?
Correct, yes. Nate Clements, Derek Ross, Scott Calhoun. I mean, everybody.
There's a couple of good names. I mean, there was only, 11 of 16 of you guys that went into the NFL?
Right. Yeah, man. It was a really good class, man. Special.
So when you're recruited, then at that time you're recruited by John Cooper. You get on the campus for the 1999 or 98 season. Buckeyes go 11-1. Had that heartbreaking loss with Michigan State, where, you know, everybody was figuring that they can win a national championship. They followed that up with the 6-6 season, but the next year they go 8-4, and Cooper gets fired. They bring Tressel in. I mean, what kind of mind frame was it for you guys as a players, going from Cooper, who you guys were, you know, recruited by, wanted to play for, and Tressel coming in with a different philosophy and whatnot?
Well, I think also on this question, to each his own. I really think it all goes back to where your standing is currently on the team. You know, I know myself, you know, if you're not in that starting lineup, then you better keep grinding. You know what I mean? You better always be in position to start, you know, because, again, with every class that they're bringing in, you know, there's going to be great talent. And I always look at it this way, man. If I'm getting older and I got a freshman and I'm a junior, and that freshman and I, you know, head to head, man, they're probably going to go with him. And so you have to do whatever you have to do, man, to stay motivated and, you know, to grind, man, and move forward.
Well, you had some freshman that was, I guess what he said, you were kind of a mentor to him, some kid named AJ Hawk. So, I mean,
right.
When you have players,
right,
I get where you're coming from with that. Not many schools go, you know, and terminate a coach who's 8-4 and he's got a winning record, but just the Michigan thing did him in. I mean, as a player playing that game, do you think that was fair for him, or?
Well, let me go back real quick, because I think I sort of dodged that question that you asked, man. I think you were straightforward on, you know, what was the mindset. And I think the mindset throughout the team was, no matter what your standing was throughout the team, was that whoever the new coach was going to be, you had to prove yourself. And so I don't know how every individual guy looks at it, but I looked at it as opportunity, man. And it was unfortunate that we moved in another direction from Coach Cooper. And I know me personally, man, I always have love and respect for Coach Cooper, Coach Puggage, that whole staff, man, because they're the ones who came to my school, man, and sort of just, let me know that it was official and let me know that, hey, it's go time. And, when those guys come to your school, especially from where I'm from, man, I'm from a small town, that lets you know. So, again, it wasn't, I wasn't happy to see Coach Cooper go, but it was time to move forward, man, and it was time to prove yourself. So, I looked at it as opportunity, man. And sort of go back to what you were saying about A.J. Hawk, man, and mentoring him. Man, A.J., he's one of those guys I think back when I think about my whole college career. I always see A.J. as that 18-year-old kid, man, and I feel like he had a great impact on myself, man. Just when I think of him, I think of humble. I always looked at, we had the chance to be roommates, man, throughout the 2002 summer camp, man. And, again, like I was saying, AJ was quiet, but AJ was always willing to learn and to ask questions. And, I don't think he lacked confidence at all, but I do think that there were times where, AJ is a guy, man, he's a respectful dude, man. And I always try to encourage him, man, go hard, man. Go hard. Don't let up for me or nobody else out here. Don't even get that mindset of letting up, man. If you get to the point, man, to where you take this job, then I knew what I was signed up for. That was my mindset. So I knew I had to go hard, but I didn't want to, I wasn't buttering him up in no type of way. I was always encouraging him to go after his, because that's the mindset that you have to have, stepping foot on, a place like the Ohio State, man, or you get ate up, man. It's a gauntlet. And it's, when you go into that place, man, you go in a boy. And when you come out a man. It don't matter where you go in that draft. It doesn't matter what, because if you stuck through the program and you went to class and you stuck through that football program, man, it changed you in some type of way. You don't just come out of that situation the same, man. So, you encourage everybody to put their best foot forward, because that's why the Ohio State is the great place that it is, man, because guys have put their blood, sweat, and tears out there. I had my kids in there this year along with my wife, and they're like, yo, man, what's that? Yo, Dad, what's that smell, man? On the indoors. They're looking at the banners, man, and they're like, what's that smell? And I'm like, yo, that's blood, sweat, and tears. That's an indoor facility of many years, many decades. Talking to my sons and daughters, letting them know, like, guys who've laid it on the line. Many days that you want to quit there on that indoor, but you think about your moms, you think about your dad. You thinking about your small hometown like New Philadelphia, Ohio, a small town, a small country town, man, where I was raised by good people, man, not just my parents. You know what I mean? And I had my ups and downs, but man, to come into the Ohio State and have that on your back, and to have an opportunity each and every day to have that gridiron right there to prove yourself, to prove where you're from, man, I took it as an honor, man. And so I have no problem, man, letting anyone know what it's all about. And it's not all about the glitz and glamour, man. That's just one aspect of it. But the realness of it each and every day, the click-clack, the representation of the Ohio State, knowing that at the end of the year you got that game, knowing that everybody is circling you on their schedule, knowing that guys within the organization are coming for your spot. It takes 11 dogs, man. It don't matter if you're on offense or defense or on special teams, as Coach Trussell instilled in us with the punt game. You better be ready, man, because film will lie to you when you watch it on these teams. That's what these guys need to know. That film will lie to you because they're not playing against the Silver Bullets. They're not playing against the Ohio